Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Gothic 2. Last time, we, started a game. We were teleported by Zardas to this new location and filled in the new terrible threat facing, our lives. Yay! Went down his mountain pass as instructed to find the city, inform the paladins of the coming threat. And we just, finished coming down here and can see the city in the distance. Also, there's a farm here. We also met Lester on the way here, as well as a bunch of enemies such as bandits and other stuff. So, let's keep going forward. There's a few blood flies here, and I think these guys might be a good target to show bows off. See how terrible the accuracy here is. Well, as they get closer, accuracy increases, and we deal a lot more damage. Again, bows this early on, really good. High damage, and, kinda safe. As you can see, they just kinda one-shot these guys, for which we need normally to hit a lot of shots. So, yeah, bows, really good. Really, really good. But, there's a goblin? Where? Oh! Bush goblin. That checks out. Anyway, let's keep going. We continue going down this road. We have two options. We can go to the town over there, or to the farm over here. But first, there's a random dude here. Kafar. Let's talk to him.
Who do we have here? You're on your way to the city. Am I not right?
Maybe.
You look like a fugitive. All fugitives are headed for the city. You could even be a former convict for the mining colony. I don't care where you come from, but I believe I have an interesting offer for you.
Oh, really? What's that?
What do you have to offer?
The way you look, the guards will never let you into the city. I can help you get into the city. I have here a small piece of paper with the royal seal and the governor's signature. A pass. With this scrap of paper in your pocket, you can run about as raggedly as you please, and the guards will leave you alone. Interested?
There must be a catch to this.
There must be a catch to this.
No catch. You will merely owe me a favor.
How will you get into town?
The guards know me. I will simply tell them that I have lost my pass.
I think I'm fine.
No, keep your paper.
I seem to have misjudged you, huh? Well, do you want something else? Can I interest you in my wares?
As a matter of fact, he can.
Show
While
me
I'm
your
here,
wares.
Take your pick.
I want to buy a pan. You'll see later why that matters, but for now, that's all. He also has some other weapons, like this fine sword, which is actually a decent weapon this early on, but it requires 15 strength, which we do not have. Also, Pirate's Cutlass, which is one of the best early on weapons.
Suit your...
But also, as said earlier, keep it for later. Anyway, let's pick up the scroll. And you know what? Who cares about this farm? Our main goal is to get to the paladins and warn them of the imminent threat. We're out of arrows. So, you know what? I'm not gonna waste any time and go to the city straight away. Also, by the way, there's a lot of wolves enemies around, as I'm sure you have seen. There's a really good way to earn money from wolves pretty soon. So, if you kind of want to get more early money, it's actually worth it to just not kill these guys and wait for, about an hour in game time. Even less than that. But I'm not gonna do that because it's not that much money. I'm rarely strapped for money early on, or even much later on. Depends on the path. I guess the one we're gonna take tends to be low on cash early, but even then I tend to be fine. So, first and foremost...
Oh,
What is it?
you aren't getting in here, my boy.
Why not?
Looking the way you do, you're sure to cause nothing but trouble here, boy. And we got enough rabble in the city. We have no use for people without money.
Wow, profiling.
I need to see the leader of the Paladins. I've got an important message for him.
Oh, and what important message might that be?
Well, the host of evil?
The hosts of evil are camped in the Valley of Corinus.
In the Valley of Mines. You come from there? Have you seen the army?
No, but I know that it's led by dragons.
Oh, sure. And my grandmother advises the orc generals. You don't think we'll let you carry an old wives' tale like that to Lord Hagen? Scram.
Well, that's screwed. We can actually just pay them 100 gold to get past, but I'm not paying money for that. Also, I put the save on top because, yeah, I'm gonna screw up if I don't do that. But before I keep going, there's a bit of a path to the left here, which you can kind of skirt around, and which will allow me to grab some extra stuff here. Mainly some digger's meat, which is good food. It gets me a lot of HP recovery. Oh! Well, this rat... Oh, that was... It's attacking from behind, isn't it? Yeah. That was stupid. See you in a moment. Again, we are over here. Rats down here. If I still had my bow, this would be the perfect time to use it. But I don't, so, you know. Okay, 2 rats. Where did the other one go? Let's try to ambush this one while the other one is away. Good. Oh, the other one's straight up went on a journey over there. That's too bad, because that probably means that guy just kind of went off to kill himself, which means less XP for us. It's only like 40 XP, so it doesn't really matter. There's some knickknacks here and there that you can sell, and healing plants, which is great. But this path just kind of leads to a giant chasm, so I'm gonna avoid it. Oh, there you are. Hello? Rat? Rat! Alright, so the AI is being kind of weird. Let's hope he comes back here. He might not. Well, there is another way to actually avoid the gods there. You can actually keep going around here. You will come to a different entrance for, you know, for the city. And over there you can also just enter without any evidence, which is nice. But anyway, sounded we cannot go from here. So let's go back to that path towards the farm. And let's, instead of going down to the city, go towards the farm. You know, the easiest way to get into the city might be to not look like a convicted felon. So maybe we can, I know, borrow some clothing here. Let me see. Hello, Lobot.
Why are you hanging around on my land? Whose side are you on? The rebelling farmers or the king?
Well, I guess I am for the king.
I'm for the king.
For the king? That's what the city guard said when they took half my sheep. But where are those bastards when we have to keep the bandits off our backs? Where will they be when the orcs invade us? I'll tell you, in the city, behind thick walls. So leave me alone with the king.
He says bad stuff no matter what you choose.
What's going on here anyway?
Don't you know what's going on? Boy, where are you from? We're on the edge of a civil war. Up till now, all the farmers looked at the tribute to the city as fair taxation. But since the paladins have come to Corinus, the city guards visit us more and more often. And little by little, they're taking everything. If it goes on like this, soon we won't have anything left for ourselves. Some farmers are starting to rebel. Onar was the first of them.
Tell me more about this Onar.
Onar is the biggest farmer here in the area. He is broken with the city. They say he's hired mercenaries to keep the city guard off his back. Can't blame him. In any case, no royal soldier dares to set foot on his farm anymore.
Who are those mercenaries that Unar hired?
I don't know much about the guys. Supposedly, a lot of them are former prisoners from the mining colony. Everybody knows what you can expect from them.
What about you? Whose side are you on? Peasants or king?
I'm too close to the city to really have a choice. But I'm glad about that. I wouldn't know how to decide. The king is bleeding us dry, and Onar sets his mercenaries on anyone who won't join him. That's why most of the other farmers are still undecided, but sooner or later they'll have to choose one side or the other.
I'm looking for work.
I can't use another farmhand, but I could offer some work to a day laborer. Well, what I mean is, you can lend a hand in the field, and there's certainly a few other things to do around here. I could pay you with gold, or give you a few decent things to wear. The things are worth a fair bit. I can't give them to you for nothing, but I can sell them to you cheap if you work for me. By the looks of you, I should say, take the clothes. Anyway, the small turnip field next to the barn needs to be harvested.
All right.
Then hurry it up a bit before I change my mind.
One moment.
Wait a minute.
Well, sadly, seems we have to do manual field labor. Which is to say, we literally have to pick up all of these turnips. Look at them. Just collecting random ass turnips. That's what happened to us. Going from the hero that saves a whole valley from a giant ancient demon to a dude collecting turnips. Man, Metroid Syndrome really gets you. Well, at least in terms of Metroid Syndrome, by which I mean getting depowered across games, this is relatively alright. I mean, there's a good reason we got depowered. Though I'd say we probably shouldn't have get as depowered. Still, these are turnips.
Here are your turnips.
Hey, you're not all that worthless after all. Take them to my wife in the house and tell her to cook them.
What about my pay?
I can give you 5 gold pieces. Or sell you the clothes cheaper. Well, what's it to be?
We're actually gonna take the cheaper
Make
gold.
me a better price for the togs.
Good. I'll give them to you for 10 gold pieces less.
We need those to get in the city, and they're good protective equipment, so want them. But before we go to talk to his wife, there's a guy here who we can help for extra rewards as well. Hello?
Hey, stranger. I saw how you came out of the mountains. You can be glad you didn't come by here 3 weeks ago. We would have taken you for an escaped convict. And we made short work of those. You look completely done in. What do you want here?
Well,
I was attacked by bandits in the mountains.
Those filthy rabble. They were probably the same bastards who took one of our sheep last night. You had terrific luck. Most people don't get away alive.
well, good news.
Those bandits won't trouble you anymore.
Why? Are they dead?
They picked a fight with the wrong guy.
Thank Innos. Here, it isn't much, but I want you to have it. I'll tell the others about this.
Nice.
I'm on my way to town.
The way you look, you'll have to bribe the guards to get in. And you have to know what they want to hear.
And that would be...
Well, for example, that you're from Lobart's farm and want to go to the smith in the city. But that won't do you any good. You don't look like a farmer.
I see.
Well, we can look like a farmer.
I need better equipment.
I can imagine. But I tell you right now, we don't have anything to give away. If you can pay for what you want, Lobart will sell you something. Otherwise, go to him and ask him if he has work for you.
Where can I...
We already know that, so let's just skip. And as soon as you finish talk with him, a wolf spawns in. If he finishes him off, he gets the XP.
Well done.
I don't get XP.
One dirty
so
beast
good
less.
thing I did it. But yeah, that's a way to get some free wine, which we're gonna need in a moment here. Before that, let's listen to this guy and go into the house here. Though, technically speaking, I'm quite sure we can go to the right here and steal a little satchel. which contains more money. Hooray for thievery. Anyway, in here we have his wife.
Hey, I've got a few turnips here for you.
Great. That should be enough to fatten those guys up. Since you're here anyway, I saw a traveling trader pass by here a few minutes ago. I think he stopped on his way to town. Go to him and see whether he's got a decent frying pan for me.
I mean, sure.
Give me the gold, and I'll go see the merchant for you.
Are you saying I can trust you? Just don't spend the money on booze, do you hear?
Here's your frying pan.
Fine. Let's see then whether it's any good.
That's actually a 10 gold
Can you give me
profit.
something to eat?
Here, take...
And we get a free stew from her as well. So, yeah, nice. There's also a chest here. But if you take the stuff in it, we get labeled a thief. Which, you know, fair enough. So I'm not gonna do that. Lastly, though, there's one more dude here. Vino.
And how goes the work?
Same as always. Lot to do, not enough money, and with a bit of bad luck, the orcs will come tomorrow and burn down our farm. The king's paladins have occupied the whole city, but I can hardly believe they'll move their butts out here when the orcs attack us.
Can I help you? I'm looking for work.
Do you know anything about working in the fields?
What is there to know?
In that case, I think we're fine here. Thank you. If you want to work for Lobart as a day laborer, I can only warn you, he pays people like you really miserable.
He offered to sell me some clean clothes cheap if I helped out on the farm.
Well, I don't have anything for you to do, but you can bring me and the boys something to drink. Fetch me a bottle of wine, and I'll tell Lobart you were a real help to us.
Well, lucky for us, we got free wine from doing the other guy's quest.
Here's your wine.
I'd better not ask where you got it from, huh? Who cares? Thanks anyway. Lobart will only hear the best about you.
I'm headed for town.
And?
Is there anything interesting you can tell me about the city?
Nope. But Maleth goes to the city from time to time. Maybe he knows something. I mean, something that would interest you.
And that's it. Now we can actually go to Lobart. We have done all the quests here. At least, all the ones I can do here as far as I'm aware. And we can get some clothing, which is quite important because, as you can see currently, protection, we have 0 in everything, which sucks.
I need some sensible clothes.
I can give you clean farmer's work clothes. Can you pay for them then?
How much for the work clothes?
Well, we'll see. You've worked the field for me. You helped my wife. Vino says you were real help to him. And that's saying something. He doesn't usually hold with day laborers. Maleth said you chased the bandits off. The bastards have caused us a lot of trouble. Thanks to you, we're rid of them. 40 gold pieces.
Normally I think it's 100, but with all the things we did, it's really discounted. Let's take
Give
it.
me the work clothes then.
There's a chest in my house where you'll find clean things. But don't even think about taking anything else without asking.
Hooray! But we do not have that yet. First we have to go in his house. And again, we could be nice little thieves and take everything he has in here, which isn't a lot. We're just gonna take the work clothing. And now, we have some armor. Actually 15-15. The game said 10-10. Oh well. With some armor, you can now take on enemies much more easily. For example, there's this young field, what's it called, rider here. We don't do a lot of damage to him, but he can normally do a lot of damage to us. Nice level up. But this time he actually didn't do any damage because I comboed him. Anyway, the important thing to say was, these guys can be a bit tough, but if you play it right, well, as I did right here, you can kill them pretty easily. But also, like, if you just have good equipment, you can also kill them easily. Alright, don't want to fight 2 of these assholes. Good. Let's see if this guy can hit me. There we go. That actually didn't look that much. We have 15 extra protection, which is really making a difference. And I think I probably need to lower SFX a bit as well. It's being a bit loud. One fight later, and we have cleared everything out. Now, I believe there is another satchel of money here. Also meadow knotweed, which is good for brewing potions yourself later on. Not that that skill is too useful. Well, it's much more useful in Night of the Raven, the expansion of this game. Again. But again, we don't really care about that. I believe there's something of value in this field. I want to say there's like a ring. But maybe I'm thinking of something else. I actually replayed this recently. And I think I legitimately did the same thing. Went here expecting something to be here. And there wasn't anything here. Yeah, I guess I'm just imagining it. Oh well, we now have everything. So let's go to the city gates. There we are. Though once again, I just killed one more field rider right here. Field raider. That way, well, no, I have some extra XP. Let's try this again.
Halt. What you want this time?
The farmer sent me.
So, have you at least got a good reason for coming here this time?
Of course.
I want to see the blacksmith to have some tools repaired.
Oh, and why did you say so right away?
I was just curious about how you'd react.
What? Try something like that with me again, and I'll show you how I react to that kind of thing, you stupid yokel. And if you see Lobart, you can tell him he should feed his sheep well. We're coming back to him shortly.
Poor Lobart. But anyway, we're in the city.
Halt, stranger. I am Lothar, paladin of the king and humble servant of Innos, your lord. Our commander, Lord Hagen, has entrusted me with the task of explaining to all newcomers the new laws which apply to all inhabitants of the city.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
Alright, go ahead.
All right. Explain the rules of the city to me.
First, the Honorable Paladin Lord Hagen resides in the upper quarter, along with his troops. That is why access to the upper quarter is allowed only to honorable citizens. Second, the town hall in the upper quarter is now the command post of the paladins. Only the paladins themselves and members of the militia have access to it. And third, whoever is accused of a crime must exonerate himself with the commander of the militia. Any questions?
Alright then.
How do I become a citizen of the town?
Only those with regular jobs will be considered citizens of the town. But don't think that you'll be admitted to Lord Hagen just because you're a citizen of the town. As a citizen, you have access to the upper quarter, nothing more. Only as a member of the militia will you have access to the town hall.
Where can I find work?
You'll have to apply as an apprentice to one of the masters here in the lower part of the city. As soon as a master accepts you, you are a citizen of the town. However, the other masters must agree to it. That's the custom here in Corinus. If you were thinking about looking for work in the Harbor District, forget it. The scum of the city live there. Don't even go there. You would regret it.
I don't really agree, but okay.
How do I get to the upper quarter?
Say, are you listening to me at all? You're not a citizen of this town. You can save yourself the trip. The guards won't let you in. The entire area behind the inner gate is off limits to you.
That would be a problem.
How do I get accepted into the militia?
By express command of Lord Hagen, only citizens of the town will be admitted into the militia.
I see.
If you want to know more, speak to Lord Andre in the barracks.
Seems like a stupid way to do the military, my man. Everybody knows you have to use the poorest people to as fodder for the military, not the top class. Ah, beginners.
What do I have to do to get armor like yours?
What? You aren't even a member of the militia! You're not even a citizen. How can you even think of being allowed to wear the armor of a paladin? Only a few militia soldiers, those who have performed extraordinary deeds, have been granted that honor so far. If you want to be a paladin, you have a long road ahead of you, my boy.
We don't, but thanks.
Where can I find the commander of the city guard?
Lord Andre can be found in the barracks at the other end of the city.
And?
Where can I spend the night here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the hotel directly across from the barracks. The paladins pay for the lodging of all travelers who come to the city. The traveling traders from the marketplace are also lodged there.
Lastly,
I have an important message for the leader of the paladins.
The Honorable Lord Hagen is not receiving anyone. Lord Andre, the commander of the city guard, is responsible for all issues pertaining to the common folk.
but listen.
Listen, the city is threatened by dragons.
That can't be true. Another lunatic. We have enough unrest in the city as it is. And without some dimwit scaring people with fairy tales about dragons, I immediately locked up the last person who was here telling dragon tales and sent him to the Valley of Mines with the prison transport. So mind your tongue. We can't use anyone here who spreads panic among the people.
Incompetence.
Who says things like that?
Somebody already reported the dragons here?
Yes. The fellow's name was Diego. I think so, in any case. I warned him just like you. But the lunatic just wouldn't stop getting on my nerves.
I can't take care of everything for
Poor Diego. But hey, can you give me your most holy artifact?
I have come to get the Eye of Innos.
The Sacred Eye of Innos? How do you know about that? You're not a member of the Order.
A magician told me about it.
I don't know what his motives were when he entrusted one of the secrets of our Order to you. But he certainly didn't mean for you to get your fingers on it.
But
I don't want to hear any more about it. First you start with fairy tales about dragons, and then this. Incredible.
Well,
I've got to go.
If I hear one more time that you are telling people here about dragons, you will be in big trouble. Do I make myself clear?
Crystal.
That's terrible.
Well, we're in the city, and the paladins are apparently quite shitty at knowing about the upcoming threat.
That's not what my husband thinks.
Awesome. Well, we at least gotten here. So next time, we're gonna start exploring this place. Though, one last thing. Let me showcase one particular bug. So we can try getting up here in the upper quarter.
Only the citizens of the town and the king's troops can get into the upper end of the town.
And we will be stopped.
Everybody knows by now.
But there is a button for the game, which is actually strafing. Here's the cool thing about strafing.
Times.
Don't say you didn't know that.
We can just strafe past these guys, and we're in the upper quarter. We have skipped a good portion of game progress. And wow, what if you want to get into here to talk with Lothar?
Halt! Only men who are in service to the king may enter the town hall.
Dang, we cannot get to him. But what if? Would you look at that?
Men who are in service.
Hello. And we can now talk to the guy.
The hosts of...
Skip past. Just to show. And we are in chapter 2. We have skipped a chapter of the game. I'm obviously not going to do that. Because there's a progress to things. Also, chapter 2 makes everything more difficult. More enemies spawn, strong enemies spawn, and so on. So, you know, not going to do that. But that's a funny way you can, well, kind of skip the game. As a matter of fact, you can skip straight to the last chapter of the game. But more on that later. For now,
I won't tell
calling
you.
it here. Next time, we're going to start exploring the city. and we will probably start working on becoming a citizen. See you all then.